big coffee for this morning. So, but we anticipate having a great meeting. I also have a box of Kleenex just in case, you never know. But anyway, welcome to everyone, and we're happy to have you come before us today. We do have 2 public comments, and so we're going to begin with that, and I'd like to invite Becky McCurahan to come forward. I hope I said your name correctly.
You did. Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Becky McCurahan. My family lives off Mission Road in Jessup, Maryland, and our daughter is currently an 11th grader at Hammond High School. I am here today in support of the CIP for Howard County construction projects, High School 13, Hammond High School renovations. Our community of neighbors have advocated strongly for the construction of the new high school to address the overcrowding in our schools and for the much-needed renovations for Hammond and Talbot Springs, which addresses additional seats for our county and much-needed overdue maintenance. Our own daughter will not be attending either, as she will have graduated, and yet there's a need for our community, and here we are. I see that High School 13 is recommended to be funding by the staff for the $23.5 million. Our community appreciates and supports your recommendation. Thank you. We are here in support of our local Board of Education. Howard County Schools recommends that Hammond and Talbot Springs be funded and back on your schedule. We appreciate all of our local and state officials are doing to make these projects happen. Please move them back to a funding status and know that we're here and we care. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now, Carlene Penna.
Good morning.
Good
My name's
morning.
Carlene Penna. I live in Columbia, Maryland, and I thank the members of the IEC for the opportunity to present testimony. I'm here to ask for your support in funding for the Hammond High School renovation and addition and the Talbot Springs Elementary School rebuild. Hammond and Talbot Springs are very unique within the Howard County community. They are over 75% majority-minority school. Over 40% of our students at Hammond are African American, and we serve a much higher average than the county average of students receiving free and reduced meals. Our motto at Hammond is where people are important, but facilities matter too, and ours have been lacking. There are many issues within the school building that have been put off for many years and delayed, and we can't be pushed off any longer. Problems in the school continue to get worse because they're not addressed, since the renovation will take care of it, but we can't wait any longer. The systems are old and failing, and if the HVAC goes out, we're in real trouble because only a couple of the classrooms even have windows. There is a lot of information I can give you, but I only have 3 minutes, so here are the biggies. Hammond High serves the 3rd highest percentage of students receiving special ed services in Howard County high schools, but our special ed department is only 1/3 of the size that it should be. We're lacking many of the basic areas to provide help to our most vulnerable students. We are woefully behind on our ADA compliance. I have heard from many parents about the difficulties, the lack of barrier-free restrooms. And while our health room has a very nice restroom in it, are students supposed to go to the health room every time they need to relieve themselves? And what about those students involved in after-school activities? Where do they go then? Even the entrances to the school are too narrow. The thresholds are too high to easily maneuver wheelchairs. And there are safety concerns because our outside doors don't shut properly and thus don't lock. And there's also no security vestibule. There's lead in the water. There's mold everywhere. I recently learned of a Hammond student who, upon hearing of the death of Olivia Paragal, the student at the University of Maryland, began skipping school because she also suffers from Crohn's, and she was literally afraid that the mold would make her sick and that literally going to school would kill her. And then there's the mice and their droppings everywhere. Now, you might be wondering why I brought this today. I bet you think it's a bucket. It isn't. At Hammond High School, this is a sink in some of our science labs. And I'll tell you, I grew up in a very small town in West Virginia, poor coal town. Not once in my high school career was I ever told to use a sink, a bucket for a sink. And I really have a hard time with that's what my kids are being told now. We're the smallest high school in the county, but we serve one of the fastest growing areas. An addition and a renovation to Hammond is a very wise investment. The county school board, county council, county executive are all behind this project. You are the missing piece. You can make this happen. Our students and our staff deserve so much better. Please fix our schools. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, we now have before us the consent agenda. Do I have a motion to approve? And then we will have Dr. Martirano and Howard County, the team, to come up to present. Good to see you, Dr. Martirano.
Great to see you as well. Senator Casemar, great to see you as well, sir. Good. Good morning, Dr. Salmon, Mr. Grell, members of the IAC, designees, and staff. I'm Michael Martirano, the Superintendent of the Howard County Public School System. Thank you for inviting us to present the unique challenges faced by our school system and discuss projects for the FY 2021 Capital Improvement Program, better known for us as our CIP. I'm joined today by Mr. Scott Washington, Acting Chief Operating Officer, Mr. Daniel Lubley, Acting Director of Capital Planning and Construction. In the audience, I have Ms. Vicki Catronio, one of our Board of Education members, and Dr. Chow Wu, one of our Board of Education members as well. And as you can also see behind me, many dedicated parents who are interested in a number of things of which I have to say to the IAC today. First of all, I want to thank you for your initial allocation of $23.5 million in state funding, which represents approximately 53% of the total $44 million requested. We would like to make you aware of some of the local concerns as you continue to review the FY 2021 state capital improvement requests. Howard County, as you may know, is the fastest growing county in the state of Maryland and must meet the capital needs of a rapidly growing student population. We expect an increased enrollment of approximately 750 new students in FY 2021. Over the past 5 years, our enrollment has increased by approximately 1,000 students annually. Just think about that momentarily and the impact that that has. To accommodate this growth, our 10-year long-range master plan includes 1 replacement and 3 new elementary schools, 3 middle school renovation projects, 2 new high schools, and 2 high school renovation addition projects. Also, I think it's important for this body to understand that recently our system completed a comprehensive redistricting process to balance capacity utilization, taking advantage of where we had our seats and to fill those seats among our existing schools, and to advance equity by addressing the distribution of students affected by poverty as measured by the participation in the free and reduced meals program. When this plan goes into effect, next year we will be moving approximately 5,400 students will move to new schools, and 51 of our 77 schools will be within the targeted utilization of 90 to 110% capacity, and up from 42 which are currently in that range. At the same time, we will reduce our highest proportion of farms participation of any school from a high of what it currently is at 68, now down to 52%, and bring 33 schools closer to the county averages. Our capital planning balances the need to provide additional classroom seats, especially in the fastest growing areas in our county, while we maintain our older schools to ensure safety and efficiency and accommodate new instructional priorities and the needs of changing student populations. Our FY 2021 Capital Improvement Program requests include capital investments include the new High School 13 in the southeastern portion of our county, a replacement for Talbot Springs Elementary School, and a renovation, a much-needed renovation and addition at Hammond High School. We ask that you consider the status of the following projects. 1, the new High School 13, LEA priority number 1, our number 1 priority. We thank you for recommending $23.5 million in funding for the new school project, and we ask that you consider funding the remaining $4.5 million requested. The new school will provide approximately 1,660 seats and is urgently needed to relieve the overcrowding in the Eastern County region and balance capacity utilization throughout the system. The building design and construction are intended to achieve LEED Silver certification. The site has been purchased, the construction documents are currently in review, and the Department of General Services and attendance area adjustments are underway with project completion targeted for fall of 2023. Next, Talbot Springs Elementary School is a replacement. That's our LEA priority number 2. The project currently has a B status. We request it receive an A status and be fully funded. The new building will replace an aging elementary school with a new modern energy efficiency facility, which will be less costly to construct and maintain over the life of the building in comparison to a school renovation and addition. When completed, The school will add approximately 160 seats and provide facilities to accommodate many essential resources and services to support students and families in one of Howard County's most disadvantaged communities. It will support access by our most vulnerable students for nutrition, clothing, language supports, and social services that are essential prerequisites to learning and achievement. Next, Hammond High School renovation and replacement, our next priority. The project currently has a B status. We requested to receive an A status and be fully funded. The project will renovate an existing aging facility and expand educational program spaces, including 6 additional classroom spaces, provide approximately 200 new seats, and add the Comar-compliant health suite. Systemic upgrades will emphasize energy efficiency as well. Our last area is Hammond Middle School boiler. That's our next priority. This project currently has a B status, and we request it receives an A status and be fully funded. The project will replace an existing 1987 boiler plant system with a new highly efficient system. State support of these projects is essential to enable our system to complete construction and maintenance that are critical in addressing our enrollment growth needs while prolonging the life-aging facilities. This support is essential to avoid further strain on an already strained budget. We appreciate the support and the cooperative relationship we've had with the Public School Construction Program, and we will continue to work closely with the IAC to constructively resolve the challenging issues facing our school system today and in the future. Again, we thank you for the opportunity to share and discuss our concerns. We look forward to receiving your favorable support for funding for the FY 2021 CIP request and express my great appreciation and acknowledge the challenges of which we have in a very robust growing school system in Howard County. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Dr. Martirano. Questions?
I have a question.
Yes, Denise.
As far as the new high school number 13, can you help me understand, are you following LEED certification with the U.S. Green Building Council? Are you actually going to go through that process to get the certification, or are you just following the guidelines?
We're actually, Scott Washington, acting Chief Operating Officer, we're actually going through the USGBC. We actually will have the official LEED certification for that building.
And is that something that, moving forward, Howard County is looking to do for all your schools?
We have basically been doing that for the majority of our schools since 2010. If anytime we have a brand new school, of course, by state regulation, but also for our systemic renovations, we've done it as well. If I'm not mistaken, we have 12 or 13 schools at this time, 1 platinum, 3 gold, and about 9 silver.
Is there a delta of cost in doing that versus just following the guidelines, is my question.
Dean Sherman?
Good morning, Dan Lubley, Acting Director of Capital Planning and Construction. When we do follow the LEED guidelines and go for achieving an actual certification, we are seeing approximately a 4 to 5% increase, specifically with regards to LEED, versus if we follow the guidelines but did not get registered, we are seeing approximately a 4 to 5% construction cost.
Thank you.
Thank you. Secretary Churchill.
Thank you. I'll also note, just for public consumption, that due to
HB 1783.
legislation from this last year, that General Services did come out with new guidelines for LEAs to consider,
Right.
which may or may not consider LEED certification. So you do have that option there to consider.
Correct, and we are exploring those guidelines as well. As we continue with our designs right now, we're trying to weigh our options between, actually, I do believe it was the 3 that we were given to kind of look to see which was the best and most efficient use of our dollars.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here
Thank you.
today.
Great seeing all of you.
Good to see you too. Okay.
Howard County does continue to experience capacity concerns. They've submitted 3 major construction projects with a combined estimated total of $398 million, as well as 1 systemic renovation project.
All right, we have questions about any of the allocations for Arabia? Hearing no questions, you may read the motion, the amended motion.
to approve the fiscal year 2021 75% capital improvement program allocations and planning approvals for each school system and the Maryland School for the Blind, as shown in the attached summary of project requests and recommendations, and to authorize staff to adjust project budgets as needed.
All right, do we have a motion to approve? Do we have a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any abstentions? I think we got unanimous approval. All right, very good. Thank you, Arabia. This has been a
you.
huge, huge effort on the part of our staff and you, and we thank you for the great job you did on it.
Thank you.